Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your day is connected to a few big companies? It's pretty amazing, isn't it? When you search for information, you probably use Google. When you buy something online, maybe you use Amazon. You might be reading this on a device made by Apple or running on software from Microsoft. These companies, often called big tech, are more than just businesses. They have become a fundamental part of our modern world. They shape how we communicate, how we learn, how we shop, and even how we think. It's a new kind of power, built not on land or armies, but on data, code, and ideas. The influence of these companies is truly enormous. Think about it. Companies like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Meta, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram, are some of the most valuable corporations in the history of the world. Their economic power is greater than that of many countries. This power comes from the billions of people who use their products and services every single day. We rely on them for so much. They provide the tools that help us connect with family and friends across the globe, run our businesses more efficiently, and access a universe of entertainment and knowledge right from our pockets. How did we get here? It didn't happen overnight. This technological revolution has been building for decades. It started with the dream of putting a computer in every home. Then it grew with the creation of the internet, a global network that connected all those computers. Now, we are living in an age where technology is woven into the very fabric of our lives. These companies were at the forefront of this change. They saw the future and worked hard to build it. They created the operating systems, the search engines, the online stores, and the social networks that we now consider essential. Understanding big tech is important for everyone. Why? Because their decisions affect all of us. The way they design their products can influence our behavior. The algorithms they create can determine what news we see. The economic choices they make can create jobs or change entire industries. Exploring how these giants operate is like looking under the bonnet of the modern world. It helps us appreciate the incredible progress we've made, but it also helps us ask important questions about where we are heading. So let's dive in and explore how these amazing companies rule our world economy. Consider the following. Many of these giant companies started from very humble beginnings. It's a classic story, really. Think of Apple, which famously began in a garage with two friends, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. They had a vision to make computers personal and easy to use for everyone. Similarly, Google started as a research project by two university students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who wanted to organize the world's information. Amazon began as an online bookshop run from Jeff Bezos's garage. These weren't huge corporations from day one. They were small startups fueled by big ideas and a lot of hard work. Their growth into global empires was driven by innovation and a deep understanding of what people wanted. Apple didn't just sell computers, it created an entire ecosystem with the iPod, iPhone, and App Store. This changed music, mobile phones, and software forever. Google didn't just stop at search, it developed Android, the world's most popular mobile operating system, along with Maps, Gmail, and YouTube. They made information and tools accessible to billions of people, often for free. Their secret was to create products that were not just useful, but became essential parts of our daily routines. This incredible expansion was also powered by smart business decisions and strategic acquisitions. When these companies saw a promising new technology or a smaller competitor, they often bought it. For example, Facebook bought Instagram and WhatsApp, which helped it dominate social media and messaging. Google bought YouTube and Android, massively expanding its reach into video and mobile devices. These moves helped them grow faster, eliminate competition, and integrate new services into their existing platforms. It was a strategy of constant growth and evolution, ensuring they stayed ahead of the curve. Ultimately, their journey from garages to global dominance is a story of vision, timing, and scale. They created platforms that benefited from the network effect. The more people who used Facebook, the more useful it became for everyone. The more sellers who joined Amazon, the more choices buyers had, attracting even more buyers. This created a cycle of growth that was incredibly difficult for others to compete with. They built digital empires not just by selling products, but by creating interconnected systems that are now deeply embedded in the global economy and our daily lives. One of the most significant impacts of big tech is on the job market. These companies are huge employers. They create hundreds of thousands of high-skilled jobs directly, from software engineers and data scientists to designers and project managers. These are often well-paying jobs that offer great benefits, making them highly sought after. The headquarters of companies like Apple and Google are like bustling cities filled with some of the brightest minds from around the world. They have built a reputation for being exciting places to work, where people can solve challenging problems and build things that affect millions. Beyond their direct employees, these tech giants create millions of other jobs indirectly. Think about the App Store. Apple created a platform where independent developers could create and sell their own applications. This has led to a thriving economy of app developers, creating businesses and jobs that simply didn't exist before. The same is true for Amazon's marketplace, which allows millions of small businesses to sell their products to a global audience. YouTube has enabled a generation of content creators to turn their passion into a career. These platforms have become engines of economic opportunity for countless individuals and small enterprises. To keep their innovative edge, big tech companies are in a constant race to attract the world's top talent. They offer not just high salaries but also amazing perks like free food, state-of-the-art gyms, and flexible working environments. They create a culture that celebrates creativity and encourages experimentation. They know that their most valuable asset is the intellectual power of their employees. This global competition for talent raises the bar for everyone. Other industries now have to compete with the attractive packages offered by tech companies, which can help to improve working conditions more broadly. However, this focus on high-skilled talent also creates challenges. It can lead to a concentration of wealth and opportunity in a few key cities like Silicon Valley or Seattle, driving up the cost of living and increasing inequality. There are also important questions about jobs in other parts of their businesses, such as in warehouses or content moderation, where working conditions can be much tougher. So, while big tech is a powerful force for creating skilled jobs and attracting brilliant minds, we also need to consider its full impact on the labor force and work to ensure that the benefits are shared more widely. Innovation is, honestly, the lifeblood of big tech. These companies invest staggering amounts of money in research and development, or R&D. We're talking about billions and billions of pounds every year. Yeah, it's really that much. This is more than what many governments spend on science and technology, but this investment isn't just about improving their current products like making a faster iPhone or a smarter search algorithm, it's about inventing the future. They're constantly exploring new frontiers, from artificial intelligence and quantum computing to self-driving cars and augmented reality. They're placing huge bets on the technologies that will shape our world for decades to come. Think about the breakthroughs that have come from their labs. Google's DeepMind, for example, has made incredible advances in artificial intelligence, creating programs that can beat the world's best players at complex games like Go. And this research isn't just for games, it's helping to solve real-world problems like predicting diseases and discovering new scientific materials. Microsoft is a leader in cloud computing with its Azure platform, which provides the powerful infrastructure that thousands of other businesses rely on. These are not small improvements. They're fundamental shifts in what is technologically possible. This relentless drive to innovate is fueled by a culture of experimentation. Tech companies are famous for encouraging their engineers to spend a portion of their time on personal projects, which can sometimes lead to the next big product. That's actually how some of Google's most popular services like Gmail and Google News were born. They understand that not every idea will be a success. In fact, most will fail. But they're willing to take those risks because they know that a single breakthrough can change everything. This fail fast, learn faster approach is a core part of their innovative DNA. The impact of this R&D extends far beyond the companies themselves. The technologies they develop often become platforms for others to build upon. Advancements in smartphone processors, GPS technology, and high-speed internet have enabled countless other innovations in areas like healthcare, education, and transportation. By pushing the boundaries of science and engineering, big tech is not just building its own future, it's creating the tools and the infrastructure that will allow all of us to build a better, more technologically advanced tomorrow. It's truly inspiring. Big tech has completely redrawn the map of the global economy. Before, doing business internationally was often complicated and expensive, really reserved for large multinational corporations. But today, companies like Amazon and Google have created platforms that allow even the smallest business to reach customers on the other side of the planet. An artisan in a small village in Britain can sell their crafts to someone in Japan through an online marketplace. A software developer in India can offer their services to a company in the United States. This has democratized global trade in a truly remarkable way. These companies don't just facilitate trade, they've actually created entire digital ecosystems. Think about Apple's iOS or Google's Android. These are not just operating systems, they're vast platforms that support millions of apps, services, and accessories created by other companies. This platform economy is a powerful new business model. The platform owner, like Apple, provides the core infrastructure and access to customers, while a vast network of third-party creators builds on top of it. This creates a symbiotic relationship where everyone can benefit, though, let's be honest, the platform owner holds the most power. The flow of data is now as important as the flow of goods. Digital services, from cloud computing to online advertising, are a massive part of international trade. Companies like Microsoft and Amazon Web Services provide the cloud infrastructure that powers a huge portion of the internet, from streaming services like Netflix to the operations of major banks. This means that data centers and fiber optic cables have become the critical infrastructure of the 21st century economy. The decisions these companies make about where to build data centers and how to manage data can have significant geopolitical and economic consequences for entire nations. This interconnected global system brings enormous benefits such as increased efficiency, greater choice for consumers, and new opportunities for businesses. However, it also creates new vulnerabilities. A disruption in a single cloud service provider can cause widespread outages for countless websites and services. Economic and political tensions between countries can play out in the digital realm, with disputes over data privacy, cybersecurity, and market access. Big tech has truly made the world smaller and more connected, but it's also made the global economic system more complex and intertwined than ever before. For all the incredible benefits they bring, the immense power of big tech companies also presents serious challenges. One of the biggest concerns is about competition. Because of their size and the network effects of their platforms, it can be extremely difficult for new startups to compete. Critics argue that companies like Google, Meta, and Amazon have become monopolies in their respective fields, stifling innovation and limiting consumer choice. Governments around the world are now grappling with this issue, considering new regulations to ensure a level playing field and promote fair competition in the digital marketplace. Another major challenge revolves around data and privacy. To provide their personalized services, these companies collect vast amounts of information about us: what we search for, what we buy, where we go, and who we talk to. While this data can be used to create amazing products, it also raises serious privacy concerns. How is this data being used? Who has access to it? And is it being kept safe from hackers or misuse? These are some of the most important questions of our time, and finding the right balance between innovation and privacy is a critical task for society. Furthermore, there are growing questions about the social responsibilities of these powerful corporations. This includes everything from the working conditions in their supply chains and warehouses to their impact on the environment from energy-hungry data centers. Many tech companies are now making significant efforts to become more sustainable, investing heavily in renewable energy to power their operations. They're also engaging in corporate social responsibility, funding educational programs and charitable initiatives. However, there's an ongoing debate about whether these efforts go far enough to offset their massive global footprint. As we look to the future, it's clear that big tech is a double-edged sword. These companies are engines of progress, creating jobs, driving innovation, and connecting the world in ways we could only have dreamed of a generation ago. At the same time, their unprecedented power brings challenges related to competition, privacy, and social impact that we must address thoughtfully. The path forward is not about stopping technology, which would be impossible, but about guiding it. It's about working together, as citizens, governments, and the companies themselves, to ensure that the amazing power of technology is used wisely and for the benefit of everyone. The future is in our hands. Let's get to work.